Merry Christmas, you filthy scoundrels. I'm your boy, 90s Star Wars kid. And I don't have a tree with a bunch of presents here today, but I do have 2 Carbonite boxes to open. That's my gift to myself on Christmas. Yesterday, Christmas Eve, we opened 3 regular booster boxes as an early gift, and now we're on to the main event. And the question is, how does the value of 3 regular Star Wars Unlimited booster boxes compare to a single Carbonite box? And I thought it would only be fair if we did 2 Carbonite boxes to give each one a chance to show us what it's got. Now, I just so happen to have 1 Carbonite from 2 different sets. Yesterday, we opened up 3 boxes of Jump to Lightspeed, so I do have 1 Jump to Lightspeed Carbonite box. But the second Carbonite box is from Legends of the Force. So it won't be an apples to apples comparison in both of these boxes, but certainly the first one will be a good comparison. Now, on average, 1 out of every 2 Carbonite boxes includes a showcase. So in theory, at least one of these should, but obviously not only are these not from the same case of boxes, they're not even from the same set. So it's very possible that neither one of these boxes ends up having a showcase for us. Nonetheless, we're going to break these open and see what we've got. Up first, let's do the apples to apples comparison, and let's break open the Jump to Lightspeed Carbonite box. And just before I do, as a reminder, what did we pull from 2 regular booster boxes yesterday on Christmas Eve? We pulled a Grand Admiral Thrawn and Luke Skywalker. We basically had a Christmas showcase miracle on Christmas Eve with regular boosters. And the question is, with those showcases plus our legendaries, can this Carbonite box beat the value? Let's find out. Six packs there, 6 packs there. Let's see what Santa brought us. Pack number 1, here we go. No showcase in pack 1, starting off with a Rio Durant. Then we'll go through our common foils. Then into our uncommon foils. And we have a rare General Draven. And what is our prestige? It is a tier 2 IG 200. So at least it's a tier 2, IG 2000, tier 2. Then we've got our common hyperspace cards. Let me make more room for these different categories here so I can keep them separate. So we got our common hyperspaces, then our uncommon hyperspace. We have a legendary hyperspace, the Starhawk, and a common hyperfoil prototype TIE Advanced, and a rare hyperfoil Corvus. All right, lots of categories of cards that we pulled out in that first set. Pack number 2, here we go. No showcase. Asajj Ventress is the leader. Let's go through the common foils. Into the uncommon foils, we have a rare foil Phantom 2 and a tier 1 prestige Victor Leader. Just a tier 1 on that one. Now the common hyperspaces, the uncommon hyperspaces, a rare hyperspace Jump to Lightspeed, which the set is named after. Let's see, we'll put rares there. A rare hyperspace, They Hate That Ship, so a second rare. A common hyperfoil Swarming Vulture Droid, and an uncommon hyperfoil General Hux. Continuing on now into pack 3. We have a Darth Vader. Sure wish that one had been a showcase. That would have been That's probably the only showcase left that I would really like from this set. Into the common foils. And then we have a Spotlight foil Millennium Falcon. Then the common foils some more. Then the uncommon foils. Into the rare foil, which is Commandeer. And then there is a Tier 1 Fetz Fire Spray Prestige. Would have loved to see that in Tier 2. I think I already have one of these in Tier 1. Tier 2 would have really been great on that one. All right, our Hyperspace Commons. Hyperspace Uncommons. Into a Hyperfoil Common Fleet Interdictor and a Hyperfoil Legendary Death Star Plans. So far, no real meaningful hits in here, to be honest. All right, we got Von Reg, so no showcase again. Common foils. Uncommon foils. We have a legendary foil Profundity. And our prestige is a Tier 2 Razor Crest. You can see the foil on there. That's a Tier 2 Razor Crest. And then we have our common hyperspaces. Then our uncommon hyperspace. Then we have a rare hyperspace Seasoned Fleet Admiral. Then we have a common hyperfoil Kajimi Patrollers. And we have a hyperfoil rare Lightspeed Assault. So if we were just looking for some hyperfoil and hyperspace rares, we're doing pretty good here. But in terms of great prestiges and great legendaries, falling quite short. All right, no showcase again, just a Kazuda Ziono. Our common foils. Our uncommon foils, followed by a rare foil Seasoned Fleet Admiral and a rare foil Iden Versio. Now let's see what our prestige is. We have a Tier 1 Banshee, just a Tier 1 on that Banshee. Our common hyperspaces here. Uncommon hyperspaces. We have a legendary hyperspace, the Ghost. We have a hyperfoil common contracted Jumpmaster and an uncommon hyperfoil You're All Clear Kid. So yeah, so far not a compelling box here on Christmas Day, gotta say. And still no showcase. Common foils. Uncommon foils. A rare foil Jam Communications. And then a Tier 1 Black 1 Prestige. Just a Tier 1. I was really hoping for some bigger ships in the prestiges on this one. I've gotten a lot of these little ships. So, unfortunate. Uncommons, and then our hyperfoils. We have a K-Turn and a Wingman Victor 2. All right, well, we're halfway through this box. We'd have to have a real change of events to have this catch up with our booster boxes from yesterday. There's a regular Thrawn, so no showcase again. Common foils. We got a Houndstooth Spotlight card. Common foils. Uncommon foils. Then we have a rare foil Radis. And then our prestige is just a Tier 1 Razor Crest. And I have to say, it would really be nice in Carbonite packs, given that there's only one Prestige per pack and how expensive these are, if there wasn't a repeat of the same. I mean, this is tier 1 versus tier 2, but it'd be nice if there were not 2 Razor Crests in one box. Just my opinion. Get the common hyperspaces out of here. Uncommon hyperspace. And we've got a rare no glory only results. Then our common hyperfoil. And then we have a rare hyperfoil tactical heavy bomber. All right. Only 5 packs left. Still no showcase. I think we might not be pulling one in this box, folks. Common foils, uncommon foils. We have a rare foil Raidus. There's at least a tier 2 gold leader. So I don't think I had gold leader in tier 2 yet. It's at least a good looking prestige card. Common hyperspaces, uncommon hyperspaces, common hyperfoil, rebellious hammerhead, uncommon commence patrol. Getting very low on these packs. Come on, Santa. Where's a showcase? It's not in this one, doesn't look like. Nope, just a Rose Tico. Santa is not delivering today. He delivered a day early. All right, common foils, uncommon foils with a rare foil jump to light speed and another tier 1 Fetz fire spray. So this isn't just, it's not like we got a tier 1 and a tier 2. We just got a 2 tier 1s. So that's too many. I love Fetz fire spray. I love Slave 1. That's too many for one box. All right, uncommon. And then we have a hyperspace legendary profundity. So our second profundity, but this one is hyperspace. And then we have, for our hyper foils, direct hit and shuttle ST149. Okay, 3 packs left. No showcase. Admiral Trench. After yesterday, I got so used to pulling showcases that it's so disappointing now to have a super expensive box and not pull them. All right, Hot Shot Maneuver is the rare. Then we have a Unity of Purpose legendary, and our prestige is a tier 1 Von Regs TIE Interceptor. Then our common hyperspaces, uncommon, and then we have a Spotlight Bosk. Then we have common hyperfoil dilapidated ski speeder, and we have a rare hyperfoil rampart. All right, second to last pack. No showcase, just an Akbar. Common foils. Got a Spotlight, no disintegrations. Uncommon foils. We got a rare foil in the heat of battle and a tier 2 red leader prestige. So again, I was hoping for some big ships in this box, and it looks like we've gotten pretty much nothing but small ships, unfortunately. Common hyperspaces. Uncommon hyperspaces. We have a rare Close the Shield Gate hyperspace. We have a common Focus Fire hyperfoil and an uncommon hyperfoil Chimera. All right, well, this is the last pack. That's how quickly we get through one of these Carbonite boxes. Let's see if we have any last pack magic. Nope. No showcase. We got a no showcase box, ladies and gentlemen. No showcase, and so far no serialized. So here's our common foils, uncommon foils, We have a rare cat and mouse, and let's see what our prestige is. We have another foil. So cat and mouse, rare, and then prestige is behind this one, a tier 1 Rampart. Very disappointing for the last pack. Tier 1 Rampart. Common hyperfoils. We did get a Hyperspace Sabine's Masterpiece. And then a common Hyperfoil Death Space Skirmisher and an uncommon Red Leader. I have to say, overall, that's a very disappointing box. For a box that, what do these retail? The price has obviously gone down a lot, but I think the MSRP was somewhere around 300, and then they started to sell around 200, and then now they're maybe just a little bit below 200. But I don't think there's any chance that we came anywhere close in this box to recouping that value. If I just had to give you an off the top of my head guess, my guess is we have about $40 of value in this box, maybe 50. I'll run those numbers after we're done here, but that is my guess. I think this $200 box, we're going to be lucky if we pulled $50 out of this. But now I'm just kind of reorganizing some of the cards. Let me get these grouped so I can give you a review of kind of some of the hits. Let's see, Spotlight, that's a legendary, it's a hyperfoil, that's a hyperspace, that's a spotlight, hyperfoil, hyperspace, spotlight, hyperspace, hyperspace, hyperfoil. So these are all of the rares in here. Okay, just a moment. And then let me organize the legendaries by kind of foil type here. Okay, let's take a look at what we got. So the tier 1 prestiges: Rampart, Von Reg's TIE Interceptor, Fett's Fire Spray number 1, Razor Crest, Black 1, Banshee, Fett's Fire Spray number 2, and a Victor Leader. Of those, my guess is Victor Leader is the only one that's worth a few bucks. And then tier 2, Red Leader, Gold Leader, which is probably the only one here that's worth a few bucks maybe, Razor Crest, which is a beautiful card, just don't know how sought after it is, and the base card is just an uncommon, IG 2000 tier 2. So those are our tier 2s. Okay. Then we pulled a few Spotlight cards: Millennium Falcon foil, Houndstooth foil, Bosk hyperspace, and no disintegrations in a regular foil. Then we have our legendaries. So we have a foil Profundity, which is not worth anything. Unity of Purpose. I think there's one green event that's worth a little something. I think it's Unity of Purpose. There's a Hyperspace Profundity, also probably not worth anything. The Ghost, I think, fetches a few bucks. The Starhawk, less than a dollar. And then Death Star Plans Hyperfoil, maybe $1. So those are our legendaries. And then rares, let's see if we got anything good in here. They Hate That Ship, Cat and Mouse, The Heat of Battle, Hotshot Maneuver, Jump to Lightspeed, Corvus. Corvus is very playable, just there are too many of them, not really worth anything. Radis, Jam Communications, Iden Versio, Seasoned Fleet Admiral, Commandeer, Phantom 2, General Draven, Jump to Lightspeed, They Hate That Ship, Seasoned Fleet Admiral. No Glory, Only Results is, I think, going to fetch about $8. Sabine's Masterpiece here in hyperspace is probably 10 or more. Close the Shield Gate, another Corvus, Lightspeed Assault, Tactical Heavy Bomber, and Rampart. That, ladies and gentlemen, are the hits in that entire box. So I will come back after we're done with both of these boxes, and I will calculate the current expected value if we were to sell the cards. But it's disappointing that we didn't hit a showcase, and we also didn't hit a serialized, and we also didn't hit the big ship prestiges. Like, there were a number of different ways that box could have gone to generate some meaningful value for us, and we just didn't hit any of them, unfortunately. So it looks like Christmas came early for us yesterday when we opened up the regular booster boxes and pulled out 2 showcases out of 3 boxes. I think that was maybe our luck being spent, and that Carbonite box that we just opened from Jump to Lightspeed did not do it. That was a little bit of coal in our stocking today. However, I told you I wanted to give a Carbonite box a second chance to see, could either of these catch up with the value of the first 3 boxes we opened yesterday. This one is Legends of the Force. Let's jump in and find out. This is box number 2. Here we go. Legends of the Force Carbonite box. Let's see what we've got. Can we pull a prestige? Can we pull a serialized? Can we pull some valuable legendaries? Let's find out. Well, no showcase on pack 1. Common foils. We also have a spotlight card right there. Common foils, uncommon foils, a rare foil, Eye of Scion. Let's see what our first prestige is. It is a legendary Tier 1 Qui-Gon Jinn. Tier 1 Qui-Gon Jinn. Then we have some common hyperspaces, an uncommon hyperspace, a rare hyperspace mind trick, a common hyperfoil N1 starfighter, and an uncommon Old Daka. Old Daka. Pack number 2. Here we go. No showcase in pack number 2. Common foils. Uncommon foils, a rare psychometry foil, and then our prestige is a Tier 2 Jocasta Nu. Tier 2. And for a second, with all that gold, it looked like, hey, maybe that was going to be serialized. But no, it just happens to be a gold decoration. Common hyperspaces. Uncommon hyperspace with a rare hyperspace Ponkrell. Acolyte of the Beyond for hyperfoil. And then we do have a hyperfoil legendary Grogu. That one, maybe that's a few bucks. I don't know if Grogu is pulling any money right now, but that might be worth a little something. No showcase on pack 3. Common foils. Uncommon foils. We have a rare T6 Shuttle 1974. And then our prestige is a Tier 1 Vernostra Row. Rut Row. Vernostra Rut Row. Then our common hyperspaces, uncommon hyperspace, and then we have a legendary hyperspace, Leia Organa. Hyperfoil common, hyperfoil uncommon. All right, pack 4. No showcase. Common foil, we have a Spotlight Qui-Gon's lightsaber. Common foil, common foil. Uncommon foil, uncommon foil. Then we have a rare Paz Vizsla. And then our prestige is a tier 2 Kiadi Mundi. Kiadi Mundi, tier 2. Common hyperspace, common hyperspace. Uncommon hyperspace. Of course, got to have some hyperfoil Korgs or Porgs, whatever they're called. And then we have a hyperfoil rare Kit Fisto's Aether Sprite. Kit Fisto's Aether Sprite. Okay, here we go. Pack 5. No showcase. Common foils. Spotlight Darth Sidious. Uncommon foils. A rare foil Doom. And our prestige is a tier 1 Kylo Ren. Tier 1 Kylo Ren. Common hyperspaces. Uncommon hyperspace. A rare Premonition of Doom. With a hyperfoil common and a hyperfoil uncommon. This pack brings us halfway through. This is number 6. No showcase. Let's go through the common foils. Uncommon foils. Rare foil Scythe. And our prestige is a legendary tier 2 Oppo Rancisis. Oppo Rancisis. Then our common hyperfoils. Uncommon hyperfoils. Or hyperspaces, I should say. There we go. There, that's at least a decent pull right there. We've got a hyperfoil legendary Darth Vader. There's no way that's going to make up for the direction this box is going, but that is certainly a good pull. Can't complain about that Darth Vader. Into the back half, the second half of the box. Still no showcase. Common foils. Uncommon. We have a rare foil, the Sun. A legendary foil, Supremacy. And our prestige is a tier 1 Eth Koth. Eth Koth, whose name I almost couldn't even see up there because it's partially covered by the art. Interesting choice. Common hyperspaces. Uncommon. We have a rare hyperspace, the Tragedy of Plagueis. Common hyperfoil, uncommon hyperfoil. All right. We could use some back half magic here. No showcase. Common foils. Uncommon. We have a rare foil Sifo-Dyas. And our prestige is a tier 1 Old Daka. Common foils, or common hyperspaces, excuse me. Uncommon hyperspace. Then we have a rare Yoda's lightsaber, a common hyperfoil, and an uncommon hyperfoil. Still no showcase. Just a rare leader on that one. Common foils. Spotlight Qui-Gon Jinn's Aether Sprite. Uncommon foils. A rare foil Mind Trick. And then we have a Tier 2 Shinhati. Tier 2 Shinhati. And based on our previous numbers, that might be the last Tier 2 that we get, unfortunately. Then we have our common hyperspaces. We have our uncommon hyperspace. And then we have a legendary Syndralig. Legendary hyperspace Syndralig. And then we have a common hyperfoil and an uncommon hyperfoil. We're down to just 3 packs, ladies and gentlemen. 3 packs. No showcase there. No showcase in pack. Third to last pack. Get our common foils out of here. Uncommon foils. We have a rare foil Jedi Trials. And our prestige, as expected, is just a Tier 1, and it's Marin. Common hyperspaces. Uncommon hyperspace. Then we have a rare hyperspace, Axe Wolves. Axe Wolves. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. And then we have, we got a Yaddle hyperfoil. Yaddle hyperfoil. So we have Grogu and we have Yaddle. No Yoda hyperspace or hyperfoil yet. Second to last pack. Second to last pack. And still no showcase. Doesn't look like we're going to pull one from this box either. Get our common foils out of here. Get our uncommons. Rare foil right there, Adigalia. And then a Tier 1 Chirrut Imwe. Common hyperspaces. Uncommon hyperspaces. Common hyperfoil, uncommon hyperfoil. And now we're down to the last pack. Last pack. So we can hope for some last pack magic, but it's not looking good. Nope. 2 boxes and no showcase for us. Ouch. Common foils. Uncommon. Rare, the Purgle King. Legendary Grand Inquisitor. And a Tier 1 Anakin Skywalker Spotlight. Common hyperspaces. Uncommon hyperspace. A rare Craving Power. And then a rare Malakili hyperfoil. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that today we were about as unlucky as we were lucky yesterday. So we shouldn't have chased the wins from yesterday. That's the lesson. Take the wins and go home. But let me see what we've got here. We have our prestiges, we have legendaries, we have rares, and we have spotlights. So our spotlight pulls: Qui-Gon Jinn's Aethersprite, Darth Sidious, Qui-Gon's lightsaber, and scimitar. And then our regular foil rares: the Purgle King, Adigalia, Jedi Trials, Mind Trick, Sifo-Dyas, the Sun, Scythe, Doom, Paz Vizsla, T6 Shuttle, Psychometry, Eye of Sion. Our hyperfoil and hyperspace rares: Malakili, Craving Power, Axe Wolves, Yoda's lightsaber, the Tragedy of Plagueis, Premonition of Doom, Kit Fisto's Aethersprite, Pong Krell, Mind Trick. Our legendaries: Grand Inquisitor, Yaddle, Syndralig, Supremacy, Darth Vader, probably the best pull of the whole box, I'm guessing, Leia Organa, and Grogu. Tier 1 prestiges: Anakin Skywalker, Chirrut Imwe, Marin, Old Daka, Eithkoth, Kylo Ren, Vernestra Rutro, and Qui-Gon Jinn. Tier 2 prestiges: Shin Hati, Oppo Rancisis, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Jocasta Nu. No serialized, no showcase, and Vader is probably, maybe there are a few legendary hits in there. We'll see. Vader might be the only one. I will now take these cards and look up what the hits are and report back on the expected value from these Carbonite boxes. I'll see you in a minute. Merry Christmas again, and I am back. I have crunched the numbers. I have checked the estimated market value for every one of these cards in the two boxes that we just opened. Let's talk numbers. What you're seeing on the screen are all of the cards. This left area is the JTL box. This right area is the Legends of the Force box. These are the only cards out of both of those boxes whose current price is at or above $1 single. Now, a lot of these are sitting at the kind of $1 to $2, maybe $3 range. Let me just call out some of the ones that are a little bit higher than that. Now, first, let me show you that even tier 2 prestiges do not necessarily mean much of anything. Surprisingly, the highest valued prestige 2 here is the IG 2000, which is going for about $5. That's our most valuable prestige 2, $5. We've got red leader going for about $3. We've got gold leader going for about $3.50. And then we've got the Razor Crest going for about $2. So our biggest hits right there, highest one was $5. Now, interestingly, in our tier 1s, we have a $10 Victor Leader. Victor Leader seems to be a pretty popular card in all of its forms. And so even in tier 1, it's pulling us about $10. Von Reg's TIE Interceptor is only running about $3. We have 2 FET Fire Sprays running at $4. Razor Crest is just $1. And Black One here is about $3.50. So this, I actually took, I don't know how many, I think 2, 4, 6. So 2 of the tier 1 prestiges didn't even break $1. I took them out. That's how low some of those prices go. Among the rares and legendaries in all their different forms, breaking $1, we have Corvus, Lightspeed Assault, No Glory, Only Results, Sabine's Masterpiece, They Hate That Ship, Iden Versio, Unity of Purpose, The Ghost, and Death Star Plans. Among those, there's really only 2 standouts, and that is No Glory, Only Results in the Hyperspace variant is going for about $11, and Sabine's Masterpiece in Hyperspace is going for about $9. Other than those 2, the rest of those were all quite pedestrian in their current market price. So where does that leave us for our MSRP $300 box, which typically sells now closer to about $200? What was the total value that we got from that box? The answer is only $73. Only about $73 out of that box. That one hurt pretty bad. This, I'd have to go back and look, but this might be the lowest value Carbonite box that I've opened so far, unfortunately. So that is the JTL side. The Legends of the Force side, still nothing amazing, but it ended up a little bit healthier than I thought that it would. So let's talk a little bit about those numbers, and I'll just pull those cards front and center so you can see them more easily. Obviously, we have our tier 2s up here at the top, followed by our tier 1 prestiges, followed by various rares and legendaries that broke the $1 mark. All right. So in our tier 2s, we actually had 2 that pulled some decent numbers. Shin Hati here. Shin Hati, tier 2, is going for about $14. And then Ki-Adi-Mundi tier 2 is going for about $16. Oporancisis is about $3.50, and Jocasta Nu, even as a tier 2, is just fetching one little measly dollar. One little measly credit. Then looking at our tier 1s, no big hitters here, just between kind of $2 and $5. So Anakin is $2. Chirrut Imwe is $6. He's the highest of this group. Marin is $5. Eth Koth is $2. Kylo Ren is $2.50. Qui-Gon is $5. And Vernestra Rutro is $2.50. And then we get into the legendaries. Now here, I called this when I opened it, but there's essentially one really good pull, which is that Darth Vader Hyperspace is going for about $17. Other than Vader, in terms of our legendaries, Grand Inquisitor over here is about $2.50. Yaddle is about $7, so that's the next highest hit. Leia is just pulling a measly $1, and Grogu down here is going for about $6. Then looking at our rares, Adigalia here is pulling $1. Craving Power is the hit among the rares. This one's going for about $8. Axe Woves is going for $2. Yoda's Lightsaber is going for $3. And then Kit Fisto's Aether Sprite is going for $2. Now, adding that up, how well did this box do? This box expected value is about $117. $117, which is, that's not twice the value of the JTL box, but it's getting close. It's, you know, it's maybe something like 180% the value of the JTL box. But let's see, as a reminder, so the experiment we were running here was 3 booster boxes are about the price of a Carbonite box. How do those values compare? Let me go back to my record from yesterday. And well, part of the difficulty here is the showcases. The showcases made it so much more valuable. But let's see, the total value yesterday was nearly $300 across 3 boxes because of those 2 showcases. So if we include the showcases in those booster boxes from yesterday, then those booster boxes were like 4 times as valuable as our JTL Carbonite box and nearly 3 times as valuable as our Legends of the Force Carbonite box. If we remove the showcases, which reduces a whole lot of the value, let's see, so 300, we remove Thrawn, that brings us down to about 190, and then we remove Luke, we're down to 130. So here's the crazy thing. Even if we remove the showcases, we still got more value out of 3 booster boxes than we did from either of our Carbonite boxes. That seems pretty crazy. Because, you know, an industry problem or a Star Wars Unlimited problem that people have been talking about for a while now is that Carbonite boxes have ruined people's desire and interest when it comes to opening regular booster boxes. They say there's no more value in booster boxes. Well, again, even if we don't count the showcases, the 3 booster boxes that we opened yesterday are more valuable than the Carbonite boxes that we opened today. So I would say that is a pretty interesting result. Not what I expected. I mean, I did expect that with the showcases in there, obviously the booster boxes should be more valuable because it's crazy that we hit 2 showcases. But the idea that even if you remove the showcases from the booster boxes still delivered more value, that is nuts. But in any event, this has been my Christmas morning with you. I'm not sure when I'll have this video out, but I do hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I will continue enjoying this up and down roller coaster ride of opening packs. But if you would like to purchase some boxes or some packs, I'm on Whatnot. I'm also on eBay. If you'd like to purchase individual cards, you can also join me on Whatnot for that. And I'll also put my individual cards up on TCG Player. So if you want to be part of the gambling fun, you can come join me on those various platforms. Until then, I'm just a 90s Star Wars kid. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.